Now, if a group of people can be convinced that the party which fought to keep them in chains is their own protector, then the chains never left. They just got better marketing. And that's not a theory. That's the scoreboard we're about to look at.
All right, so these Democrats were shocked when they found out that it was actually the Democrat Party that didn't want blacks to vote.
Do you know what Juneteenth is?
It was the day that we actually celebrated getting freedom for African Americans.
A president sent the army in to enforce the 13th Amendment to make sure that all, like you said, people know that they're free, but they had to send the army to make sure that they know what's going on into Texas. What was the president's name, and what political party was he part of?
I'm going to say Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. And was he Republican, Democrat?
I feel like he was Democrat, but I want to say maybe he was Republican. No, I'm going to go with Democrat.
The historic 13th Amendment was passed in Congress, and then it was vetoed by a certain president. Do you know what was the president's name and what party he was affiliated with?
Republican.
A year after Juneteenth, Congress decided to pass the very first Civil Rights Act. It allowed, first of all, it gave full citizenship and rights to freed slaves. What party completely voted against it? Not a single person voted for it. Which party were they affiliated with? Republican, Democrat, other? Anybody know?
I want to say Republican.
Abraham Lincoln was a Republican president. So he's the one that sent the army because Southern Democrats in Texas wanted to continue to have slavery. So Abraham Lincoln said, no, we have a federal law now. We're going to enforce that. His vice president that stepped in and vetoed the Civil Rights Act was a Democrat. His name was Andrew Jackson. Yeah. And here's the main thing. When they allowed black people to finally run for office a year after Juneteenth, the first 20 people who were black people to be members of Congress were all Republican members. The Democrats refused to allow black people to vote and to be, obviously, candidates for office.
So you can watch that clip right there and really see these minds being blown. And when you finally just realize the facts behind all of the propaganda and all of the stuff, you realize how much of true American history is just being hidden from people. God knows they're not teaching it in the schools. They'd rather teach BLM and 500 genders and, I don't know, have drag queens like, teach kids shapes or something like that. They're certainly not being taught history. And then you understand why they don't want to teach this history, because Democrats want to run the propaganda that Republicans are racist when in fact they're the ones with the history of racism.
You just watched grown adults guess the party of slavery and get it wrong in real time. Now, if you would have asked me this maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I would have been on the same wave. Not one of them hesitated. That's a gap in education for sure. That's a successful product. Somebody spent decades making sure the receipt stayed buried while the brand got rebranded. And the people most affected by that history are the ones least likely to be taught it. And if you ask me, that's not random. That's literally designed. And once the past is blurry, the present gets real creative.
Kamala Harris brought these people out. They paid these women to come out and speak. Did you feel disrespected?
Absolutely.
You felt disrespected?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
I felt disrespected in the numerous ways, but okay. I'll only tell you two. I felt one, disrespected that we have come so far to now this is how you are trying to get our vote.
Yes.
I feel also the second reason why I feel disrespected is because this is, to me, is racist. You mean to tell me, at least people of our skin color, black people, you mean to tell me the only thing that to get our attention or to get us someone to vote for y'all is by using the rappers and stuff that we listen to? And they're not even, like, don't get me wrong, Meg is good, right. Glow is good, they all have talent. However, they have a certain genre that they go for. Right. And that's not necessarily a good image on young kids or young women that's coming up. So you mean to tell me, like, you used them as a way to get our attention, and that's the only people you can use? There are other great artists out there who rap about, like, making it and just kind of making it big and like flourishing and healing and all of that. We could have had those type of people come up, but you went and chose someone who has kind of degraded us in a way.
Yeah. So do you think they look at like black women are like, you know, they're easy to manipulate? These stripper rappers up here.
Yep.
And you know, they'll come out and vote if I get the stripper rappers to come out. You know, do you
So a black woman just said out loud what a lot of people usually only whisper. Paying Megan and Glorilla to show up, and it's just really not outreach. It's a focus group result. Somebody in a room decided the fastest way to reach us, to reach black, well, not us, I guess I'll say black women specifically, as it relates to this woman, decided the fastest way to reach black women was through the same energy that sells body shots and viral dances. She called it disrespectful. She even called it racist. And then, and the people who usually lecture everybody else about respectability suddenly had nothing to say. It's real funny how the rules change when a check clears, right? So, history is foggy and the current strategy is pure spectacle. Now ask the next question.
I really don't understand black men that support the Democratic Party. Like, I understand women, because they all right with gay, with gay people, with gay dudes, they have their gay best friend, that they love. I understand black women, but I don't understand straight, masculine men. Like, they literally, I just posted a video on my Instagram of Democrat Tim Walz. Literally, they have transgender dolls that they're now using in schools. Transgender dolls to indoctrinate your kids in the schools. I don't understand a black man, how they can support that, especially if they got sons. I don't understand. I don't care. There's enough racism in the world for me to support a party that would tell my son should be a girl at 4, and they giving these dolls out in like 4th grade, in like kindergarten. Transgender dolls in Minnesota, the Democrats are. I don't understand straight black men that support the Democratic Party. I just don't understand it. Like, this party has become so feminized and so emasculating to men. That's why they keep running women candidates. They have become, women run the whole party, white liberal women. I don't understand black men. I just don't understand how you can be so dumb, how you can be so brainwashed, how you can allow these people to emasculate you so much that I know your mom told you, your grandma, that the Democrat was your best friend, but I don't understand the black men to do. I just don't. Maybe 20 years ago I could understand voting Democrat. Even under Obama I could tell. He liked basketball, he likes sports. But this new Kamala party, this new AOC party, I don't understand it. I don't understand what benefit it has to you. They're replacing you with illegal immigrants. They're taking all the jobs for black men. I just don't understand it. I really don't. I'll never understand it. I don't. But we're the coons. We're the crazy ones. We the crazy ones. We don't want biological men in our daughters' sports. I have 3 daughters. I don't want biological men in my daughter. That is a big issue for me. It's not for you. You want biological men with private parts going into your daughter's bathrooms? That's insane to me.
Now, he's not yelling at the clouds. He's asking why the same group keeps handing the same party the same loyalty after the same results. Straight black men in 2026 still carrying water for a machine that talks about them more than it delivers to them or for them. That's not loyalty. That's habit with a voter registration card. And habits only break when the cost of them, the cost keeping them finally gets higher than the comfort of staying the same. Now, part of that cost is the story people are trained to tell about themselves.
When you're black, you're never really lonely because there will always be a white person all up in your business.
I am fully convinced the people who make these videos, really, they leave their phone out, they record, and they just wait. No one's bothering them. No one's walking by. It could be like 1, 2, 5 minutes before someone actually looks at them and pays attention to them. And then they hop on this. I'm convinced anyone using this audio, that's what they're doing. Because if you look at it, no one is paying attention to them really. They're just looking to see like, oh, hey, this person's recording. Why are they recording? And then they go on about their business. They might glance over again like, hey, is this person still recording? Because it is kind of creepy in a public setting. But no one's really paying them any mind. Again, it's black folks stirring up their own oppression, stirring up their own perceived racism, stirring up their own anger, stirring up their own controversy. But no one is falling for it. As a matter of fact, this is where all the fatigue sets in. This is where people start getting really tired. This is when real anti-black behavior starts happening. Because now it's just, okay, you want to provoke me? You want to pick a fight? I'm going to fight you. That's where it comes from. And people like me are getting sick of it. People, like other races, white folks, everybody else are getting sick of it. Because it's the constant self-victimization and it's the constant I'm so oppressed. Look at me. Look at everybody who's oppressing me. Look at everybody. Look what's wrong with the rest of the world that's doing this to me. And then when they actually do it, you get mad. You manifested this. You wanted this to happen. You're getting your wish. Wonderful, right? Wonderful. Zeke Arkham, gotcha 6. Bye.
Quote, when you're black, you're never really lonely. You know, the original claim was about outside attention. The reaction cut through the poetry. You know, there's always somebody nearby ready to turn any inconvenience into evidence that the world is against them. That posture is exhausting for everybody in the room. I'm just saying, including the people stuck living inside it. Victimhood is the one job that never runs out of hours. And when the posture becomes identity, even basic history becomes optional.
Shit. I know you probably wondering why I'm smiling. I'm smiling because one thing I know for a fact, regardless how racist these motherfucking people want to be, regardless what they want to try to call me, this and that, hey, at least we got culture. At least we got our own culture. Like, literally, like, undeniable what is our culture. Like, fucking the racist white people still claiming fucking Europe and fucking cultures that ain't had nothing to do with their dumbasses for the last 200 to 300 years. Like, hey, that's just funny as fuck. I thought, it's like you can tell it's really getting to them. Like, it's really like destroying a lot of their mentalities. Like, having no self-identification, no culture to really fall behind, and like the only culture they do got is like child molestation and incest.
White people have no culture, he says. That's not history's take. That's a dare. The same civilization, that produced the technology, the medicine, the legal systems, and the music formats most of the world runs on somehow has no culture. It's the kind of statement that only survives in spaces where facts are treated like personal attacks. Reality doesn't need a PR team. It just keeps existing whether the narrative likes it or not. This one is short and sharp on purpose.
Are you a liberal male?
I am liberal.
And are you a beta male?
Sure.
Really? And you know that a liberal male means that you're a weak man, right?
I'm stronger than you, but
you think and act like a woman. You think you act like a man?
Yeah.
Well, why are you weak?
I'm not weak.
You're just like your mother.
That's good. My mother's a great person.
You just like her?
Yeah.
Beta! Women are not going to like you being like that. And so you say you're a liberal, which means you're a beta male. And what is a beta male?
To me?
Uh-huh.
Well, to me, beta male is a term made up by people who like toxic masculinity.
And what is toxic masculinity?
It's a version of masculinity where you define the male identity in something that's aggressive and harmful to other people.
But what's wrong with being aggressive as a man?
Well, it's harmful to other people.
Alpha males don't use aggression because they're real men and they don't need to use that. It's natural for them to be that way. A beta male have to use aggression. So you say
what is an alpha male to you?
A real man, not a liberal, not a beta.
Jesse, he didn't dance around this opinion, man. He looked at a grown man in the face and asked if being a liberal male meant being a beta male. The answer that came back was the whole philosophy trying to redefine strength as anything except strength. Excuse me. Now, when a culture starts treating assertiveness like a character flaw, it shouldn't be surprised when fewer men feel like leading anything. You know, strength isn't toxic. Weakness with a microphone is. Now, here's what all these clips have in common if you stop watching with your feelings and start watching with your eyes. You know, a group of people can be taught to distrust the very history that explains their present. You know, they can be sold entertainment as political engagement. They can be trained to see every discomfort as opposition or oppression and every opposing fact as violence. And then the same voices that created that environment will turn around and ask why the outcomes never improve. That's not a mystery, if you ask me. That seems to be a business model. The people who benefit from the confusion have no incentive to clear it up at all. Clarity is bad for the product, so the product stays the same. The marketing gets flashier and the results, they just stay disappearing. Now, you don't fix that by getting louder. You fix it by getting harder to fool. Memory is powerful. The people who keep theirs, they seem to be making better decisions than the people who outsource this. Now, Hosea 4:6 says, my people will be destroyed by the lack of knowledge. So, if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to drop the word record in the comments if this one sat with you. Y'all be safe. Go check with somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.